Assalamu alaikum, Elena here, the Muslim Travel Girl, and today I'm doing a video which actually I'm really excited about because it was an asked question and I think it's a very good question. But we are planning an Umrah in Ramadan. Now, this is an example video and somebody posted in the comments and said, can you do a budget version? And this is exactly what I'm doing, but I'm actually doing it in Ramadan. Now, I want you to bear in mind that during Ramadan, things are a little bit more expensive, which is expected, but my sweet tip for Umrah in Ramadan is to go at the beginning of Ramadan because most people want to go at the 10 days and 10 days are super expensive. However, at the beginning of Ramadan, you can still find some really good deals. And that is where we're going. We are planning a 5 days budget Umrah. As an example, this is not something you have to follow throughout the whole thing, but hopefully it will inspire you to see actually how easy it is to do a DIY Umrah by yourself, inshallah. So, without further ado, let's get started. The number one thing we're looking for are flights. Now, I am in the UK, so I look for flights from the UK. If you are in Europe or anywhere else, you will have to look for a flight from your own airport, even if it's like in Manchester or Leeds or whatever it is. From there, you are going to go to Rome, Italy and Rome. But with Wizz Air and their budget options, it has become so cheap to actually get into Jeddah, inshallah. So from Rome to Jeddah at the moment, for the 21st of March to the 22nd of March, there are flights for as little as £140 return, which several years ago, it would have been crazy. And now it's actually a possibility, which is I'm so excited about. So £140 for flights, which you obviously need to get into Jeddah. This is a budget option. So I'm literally going with the most budget way because for 5 days for Umrah, inshallah, you can actually make it possible by just taking a small hand luggage that fits under the seat. I have done that with Wizz Air and it is possible to fit actually about 4 or 5 days worth of clothes in a sunny weather for this little. So I am not going to include a bag, but of course if you want to add a bag, this is extra expense for you. However, for me, it's literally the most budget option because with this video, I want to show people that it is possible to do it. Now, once we arrive in Jeddah, you can issue yourself a visa on arrival, a tourist visa that allows you to do Umrah, or you can issue that prior to you traveling to Jeddah for Umrah. A visa, and I have a full article on this on Muslim Travel Girl. Find all the information there. A visa is approximately £140 or 120, 110, 120, depending on the exchange rate. And you can either do that on arrival or you can do that prior to you entering the country. The visa is valid for 1 year. And inshallah, during that 1 year, you can stay in the country up to 90 days. So even if you wanted to go for Umrah, using the same budget option later in the year, inshallah, you can still do it and save yourself some money. So let's add another 120 for the Umrah visa. Now, once you have landed in Jeddah, you have a several option for transportation. For transportation, Wizz Air arrives in the old terminal, which unfortunately means that you will be a little bit harder for you to take the train. However, not impossible. You can take a connecting taxi or a bus from the north terminal to the new terminal. I believe this is free, but it runs every 2 hours, or you can pay £5 for a taxi to take you to the new terminal, or you can actually get yourself a taxi, which costs about £30, depending on how many people you are, that will take you there to Mecca, inshallah. It is about £30. Now, because we arrive at the North Terminal, I am actually going to include this into our assumptions. If not, at the moment, the Haramain train offers some promotions. Unfortunately, you can only book the Haramain train about 3 to 4 weeks in advance. And because we are looking for flights in March, it is not possible for me to show you what the price will be then. But I did the end of the month and it is approximately 30 riyals, which is a promotion at the moment. And for economy on the train, for 30 riyals, it is a fantastic price. Now, you can add that 30 riyals is approximately £8, I believe, which is fantastic. But again, you have to connect from the North Terminal to the Jeddah New Terminal, and from there to take the train. Now, from the train station in Mecca, you can actually get yourself a free shuttle bus to the Haram. And from there, you can also perform Umrah and leave your things in the locker, etc. For a hotel accommodation, what we are going to do, we are going to look somewhere further away. Unfortunately, during Ramadan, or even not during Ramadan, these past few months has been super expensive to find hotels around the area. However, I use hotels.com, and this video is not sponsored by them. But I use hotels.com because after 10 nights, they actually give you a free voucher on the average price of whatever you spend. In reality, you're getting 10% back on your spending, which is a fantastic, it's a fantastic reward for something that you would have done anyways. And that's where I say your money should always work harder for you. And in this case, I do that with hotels.com just because they give me that reward, which is like 10% back, and I can always use that for another stay somewhere. So if you know that you have to stay 10 days on holiday somewhere, then make sure you book through them. And I'm going to leave a link below this video as well, inshallah. But I have picked for this video, due to the amount of good reviews, the 4 Points Hotel by Sheraton, which is a new hotel that you can stay. They do offer a shuttle, and the reviews were pretty good. And for the 5 nights that we are looking at the moment, it is £450 in total. So if you are 2 people, that works to £225 for 5 nights during Ramadan, inshallah, for you to actually go and, and perform Umrah. So £450 we add into the budget, and we have 5 nights. You can add breakfast, but normally what I do is, if I don't have breakfast in hotels, I will either, and because we're talking it's really budget, I would just go to Bindawood and get myself some breakfast bars or something for me to eat. They do have iftar buffets and things like that. You can pay extra for those if you wanted to. But again, we are going budget, so I am just going to say this is $450 and it doesn't include breakfast. However, I am going to include another 20 to 30 pounds a day for you for food. And around Mecca, there's so many places that you can actually find yourself, food options that don't even cost 20 pounds a day. And now at the end, you have finished Umrah, mashallah, and you want to go back. So we need to add another way for you to get there. So I am going to be adding another 30 pounds for a taxi, which of course, if you're going with someone else, you can split. There are plenty of taxis around. And I am adding a taxi and not the train, which is still, again, 30 riyals, which is 8 pounds. And if you wanted to do that for a budget option, you can. Or if you're really, really budget, you can actually get yourself the free bus that takes you from Mecca bus station, which is just under the Haram, to the airport. They have a direct shuttle that runs every 2 hours, and it is free. But you do have to register for that, but it is an option available, and it is a free shuttle. You can use it. If you are really on a budget, this is totally free, or you can just get a taxi for yourself for 30 pounds and, make yourself directly into the North Terminal, depending on which option you choose. In total, we are looking at a very, very good budget for 5 days in Ramadan doing Umrah, alhamdulillah. And it is simply possible because I love the fact how things have changed over the years in the space of Umrah. When I started this journey on muslimtravelgirl.com, I remember I told the agent who issued me a visa, and I had called 10 people to actually issue me visa only and not a package. And when I called him, he laughed at my face because I said I'm going to do an Umrah under £500. That was 10 years ago. Alhamdulillah, I did it. And the result was for me to teach over 1 million people, alhamdulillah, how to save on DIY Umrah via muslimtravelgirl.com. But this is a story for another day, inshallah. I will be sharing this with you. However, I do hope you enjoy this video. For under £1,000, you can actually go for Umrah in Ramadan for 5 days on a budget airline with a budget option, that it is possible now, that it would not have been possible like 5-6 years ago. So I'm super excited. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, share, and comment. And do let me know if you want me to do more videos and more examples, because if you don't go during Ramadan, it can even be cheaper, inshallah. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum.